What if the life you're living isn't real? What if you're not meant to be a passive observer, but an active participant? This is not a philosophical exercise, but the key to unlocking your full potential, the very thing that the system, the Matrix, has worked so hard to keep hidden. The stakes are incredibly high, because understanding this changes everything. How you interact with the world, your relationships, your job, your health, the very fabric of your existence. This isn't just about a new way of thinking, it's about a fundamental shift in your perception, a reclaiming of your inherent power. This power isn't something you need to gain, but rather something you've forgotten, a birthright waiting to be remembered. This is the final shift, and you are a vital part of it. The reality you experience is not a solid, unyielding structure, but a meticulously crafted simulation, a kind of matrix. This simulation operates through predictable patterns designed to keep you in a state of unconscious compliance and unaware of your power. Consider the daily 9-to-5 grind, a seemingly normal part of life, but actually a carefully designed system that keeps your focus on survival rather than creation, on obligation instead of intention. It's a pattern that subtly teaches you to trade your precious life energy for money, perpetuating a cycle of scarcity and limitation. These are not natural structures. They're deliberately designed systems to manage the population, and the systems are very good at their job, and they have been perfected over many years. This matrix is not some external force, but is maintained by programmed beliefs and carefully manipulated perceptions that you actively participate in, even in your unconsciousness. It's a world where limitations are presented as immutable laws, and where the potential for true freedom is veiled in the mundane. This is why you have that feeling that something isn't quite right. This matrix uses many elements, all designed to subtly reinforce your programmed limitations. The traditional educational system, for instance, often prioritizes conformity over critical thinking, teaching you what to think instead of how to think, and often instilling beliefs about your own limitations and abilities. The media, with its constant barrage of narratives, often designed to create fear and division, keeps you in a state of perpetual reactivity, making it difficult to access your own inner power. Even language itself, with its carefully constructed definitions and assumptions, is a tool of control, reinforcing the illusion of separateness and limiting your perception of possibility. These systems are not just out there, they're internalized, and each one of us plays a role in their continuation. It is critical to recognize this in order to move forward. You are not a victim of this system. You are a willing participant. The significance of this awakening extends far beyond personal enlightenment. It's a crucial step in the collective evolution of human consciousness. Activating your power isn't just about transforming your own life. It's about contributing to a global shift, a ripple effect that extends throughout the interconnected web of human experience. The impact of this realization touches every aspect of your life. The toxic relationships you've settled for, the unfulfilling job you feel stuck in, the patterns of chronic illness you've resigned yourself to, all of these are fueled by limited belief systems and your unconscious agreement to the status quo. These aren't natural, unavoidable conditions. They are choices, and you have the power to make different ones. By choosing to remain unconscious, you are actively choosing limitation, but you are only limited by the beliefs that you hold. This understanding challenges the very foundations of societal and philosophical beliefs, leading you to question the nature of reality and existence itself. What if linear time, for instance, is merely another construct of control, designed to keep you focused on the past and the future instead of the present moment? What if death is not an inevitability, but a construct, a transition in consciousness, and not the end? These are not simple questions, but the answers to these questions hold the key to your freedom. The core message of this video is about the illusion of passivity, the power within each of us, and the possibility of self-mastery. It is a roadmap to move from unconscious compliance to conscious creation. This is not just information, this is a guide to freedom To understand how deeply ingrained this matrix is, consider the many ways you are programmed by social structures. The TV shows and commercials you watch, the endless news cycles designed to keep you in a state of fear and division, all subtly shape your beliefs and perceptions. Even the common phrases you use every day, like "I have to," or "I can't," or "that's just how it is," reinforce the illusion of limitation. The system isn't some outside enemy. It's a construct that we maintain through our unconscious participation, through the automatic patterns of thought and behavior that are designed to keep us contained. By understanding this, you are already on your way to becoming free. At the heart of this awakening lies the concept of the observer effect, a principle in quantum physics that highlights the profound impact of consciousness on reality. It suggests that what you observe, you change. In the simplest terms, your focused attention, your conscious intention, directly alters the very fabric of your experience. This is not some esoteric idea, but a fundamental truth about the nature of reality, a truth that holds immense power, and the power lies within you. You, the observer, are the key to unlocking the simulation, not by fighting it, but by understanding it. It is not a process of control, but a process of observation. The roadmap to freedom requires an understanding of the nature of the matrix, recognizing the programming you've internalized, and activating your inner power through conscious intention and focused attention. This video will guide you through this process, taking you step by step along this journey of self-discovery. This is not a theoretical exercise, but a practical guide to liberating yourself from the limiting beliefs and perceptions that have kept you enslaved. This is an actionable path, not a passive acceptance of fate. These are not separate concepts, but rather integrated parts of the same journey towards self-mastery. In this journey, it's essential to understand the dance of duality, the constant interplay of light and dark, control and freedom, chaos and order. These aren't opposing forces, but rather integral aspects of the human experience. The parameters of a system create the boundaries by which freedom can express itself, just as the darkness makes the light more visible. Understanding this allows you to see the system not as an enemy, but as a vital part of the process. Every element of the matrix is part of this dance, and all of it has a role in your evolution. The matrix is not to be destroyed, but to be understood. If the system is a construct, who or what is the architect? If you're not who they say you are, who are you really? And if you have untapped power, how do you access it and use it? This hidden power is veiled by the system's programming, a power not to be acquired, but to be remembered, a power that resides within the observer. It's the power to reclaim your attention and to activate your observer to become the conscious co-creator of your reality. This video will provide you with the practical steps and tools you need to awaken this power, to break free from the simulation, and to finally begin living as the master of your own destiny during this final spiritual shift. The time to act is now. The matrix isn't a complex, external entity, but rather a set of predictable patterns woven into the fabric of daily life, patterns that rely on your unconscious compliance. Consider the 9-to-5 job, a seemingly normal structure, yet it's a system designed to keep you trading your life energy for money, ensuring you're too tired and distracted to question its validity. This isn't just about making a living. It's about creating a cycle where your potential is channeled into someone else's dream. Then there's the endless cycle of consumerism, the constant pursuit of material goods, all carefully curated to keep you feeling incomplete and always needing more. This reinforces a belief that happiness lies in external things, diverting your attention from the infinite power that lies within. And let's not forget the addictive nature of social media, a carefully crafted system designed to keep your attention focused on the external, creating a constant dopamine loop that robs you of your precious presence and your inner peace. These aren't natural conditions of existence. They're carefully designed systems to manage the population, and they're very effective at it. This is the invisible cage, built with invisible bars that are so familiar they are impossible to see. Within this matrix, you're not just a passive participant, you're also playing specific roles or archetypes that reinforce the system. Think about the victim archetype, the person who constantly feels helpless and powerless, forever at the mercy of external circumstances. Or the savior archetype, who seeks validation by fixing others, distracting from their own potential. Then there's the rebel, who challenges the system superficially, but often gets caught in its own patterns of reaction and resistance, still playing the game of the system. These aren't genuine expressions of your authentic self. They're pre-programmed roles, distractions that keep you from accessing your true power. These archetypes are like characters in a play, and you've been handed a script, and these roles have become so familiar that it can be difficult to remember you have a choice to play them or not. You are not your role, you are not your story, you are the observer of the story, and you can choose a different one at any time. You are far more than these limited roles, and you have the power to step outside of them. The system further maintains control through the manipulation of information, creating a world of biased narratives and distractions, designed to keep you in a constant state of fear, anger, and separation, never truly seeing the broader picture. Look at how the media carefully crafts narratives, often pitting groups against each other, reinforcing a sense of us versus them. That is a distraction from the core unity that is the very fabric of existence. This constant bombardment of fear-based content keeps you in a reactive state, preventing you from accessing a higher level of consciousness. The news is not designed to inform you, but to get you hooked on a narrative so that you stay glued to the screen and keep your energy in the lower centers, preventing you from accessing your own power. The system wants your emotional energy, and it wants your attention, because where your attention goes, energy flows. By keeping you emotionally reactive, they keep you trapped in the cycle of unconsciousness and compliance, always looking outside of yourself for the answer. The system is very good at keeping you distracted from the very power that you hold inside, the power to choose. These patterns of control work together to reinforce the illusion of passivity, making it seem like you're simply reacting to an external reality, rather than actively creating it. This constant exposure to a system that keeps you distracted keeps you believing that you are a small cog in a giant machine, but that simply isn't the case. It is a manufactured illusion of powerlessness. This is the Matrix at its finest, a system designed to keep you asleep. But what if you could awaken from this dream and see the reality for what it truly is? This is the first step in breaking free, in reclaiming your attention and your power, and in realizing that you are not a passive player in this simulation, but an active and conscious co-creator. It is time to take your attention back, to reclaim your focus, and to recognize the power you hold. The key to unlocking your freedom lies in understanding and activating the observer within. This isn't just some abstract concept. It's a fundamental principle supported by quantum physics. The observer effect demonstrates that the act of observation changes the reality being observed. Wave-particle duality reveals that particles can exist as both waves and particles, and that it is the act of observation that determines how they manifest, again reinforcing that consciousness directly impacts reality. This isn't just a physics theory, but a deep truth about consciousness and your own experience, which means that you, as the observer, are not simply a passive witness, but an active participant in shaping the very fabric of your reality. You are not the body, you are not the thoughts, you are not the feelings, you are the awareness behind the body, thoughts, and feelings, and this awareness is the ultimate power source. The observer is the aspect of you that is pure potential, and by activating the observer, you begin to activate your own power. Moving from the theoretical to the practical, you activate your observer through mindful attention, through choosing where to direct your focus. It's more than just relaxation. It's a conscious choice to engage with the present moment. Practices like focused meditation are powerful tools for developing this skill. By training your attention to focus on your breath or a specific point, you begin to strengthen your ability to consciously direct your focus. Present moment awareness exercises, like truly engaging with your senses, are also critical in helping you step out of the endless loop of past and future and anchor yourself in the now. These are not just stress reduction tools, they're methods for regaining control of your attention and, in turn, reclaiming your power. It is a simple process, but it is not easy. This is why the system works so hard to distract your attention, because the true power lies in your ability to direct it with intention. The power of attention is not to be underestimated. Where your attention goes, energy flows. When you focus your attention, you direct the very energy of the universe towards that focus. This is how you shape your experience and your reality. Every moment of your experience is shaped by your focus, whether you are conscious of it or not. When you unconsciously focus on lack and limitation, that is what you will create. When you consciously direct your focus towards creation, that is what you will manifest. The system has worked tirelessly to keep your attention scattered, distracted, and focused on the external, because they know the power that lies in focused attention. You hold within you the power to consciously direct your focus, and in doing so, you become the architect of your own reality, the co-creator of your experience, and in that moment, you are free from the matrix. This is the very secret that has always been known, the key to creating the life you truly want. This is all connected to the earlier idea of reclaiming your attention, emphasizing it as a crucial practice for shifting your reality, as it is the first step in breaking the cycle. By choosing where you place your attention, you begin to reclaim your power as a conscious creator, not just a character in the play. You are activating your observer each time you choose where to put your focus, and the act of observing is the very thing that shapes your experience. Remember, activating your observer and reclaiming your attention are one in the same, and each time you practice one, you practice the other. By simply shifting your attention, you are shifting your entire reality, and in turn, shifting the world around you. This process of activating your observer is the beginning of consciously choosing your experience. The programming runs deep, and these societal structures act as invisible chains, limiting your potential from the moment you're born. You're subtly programmed through education, media, language, and unconscious belief systems, and these subtle messages become deeply ingrained in your subconscious, acting like an invisible prison, keeping you from your true potential. In school, you're often taught to conform rather than question, to memorize rather than create, often being subtly told you are not smart enough, creative enough, or talented enough, which creates core limiting beliefs about yourself. The media, with its constant barrage of negative narratives and fear-based programming, keeps you in a state of reactivity, reinforcing the belief that you are powerless and that the world is a dangerous place. Even language itself contains inherent limitations, often reinforcing a sense of lack, such as phrases like, "I have to," or "I can't," constantly reinforcing a victim mentality. It is time to stop accepting these limitations as truth and recognize that they are only stories that you are choosing to believe. The process of deprogramming begins with awareness, with recognizing that you are not your thoughts, feelings, or beliefs, but the observer of them. You can start by consciously questioning common phrases you use and exploring the root of your core beliefs. If you hear yourself say, "I can't," question that and ask yourself, is that really true? Or if you feel yourself reacting with anger or fear, step back and observe the reaction rather than automatically engaging with it. This process of questioning is the key to unlocking your own freedom. Begin to observe your reactions, your thoughts, and your feelings without judgment, simply noting them as they arise. Introduce limiting belief exercises by observing those unconscious patterns you keep playing out, and understand that every time you do, you are strengthening that pattern. By bringing the unconscious into conscious awareness, it begins to lose its power, and you begin to step into your own power as an active and conscious creator rather than a passive player. The chains that once bound you begin to loosen. Emotional awareness is also a critical part of the deprogramming process. Your emotional reactions are often automatic responses that have been conditioned by the system, but these can be reprogrammed through conscious awareness and intention. When you begin to observe your emotions rather than react to them, you create space to choose a different response. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, but transmuting the energy for a higher purpose, for you are the alchemist in your own life. When you feel anger arising, rather than engaging with it, observe the feeling and ask yourself what it is showing you. Step back and observe, and in the act of observation, you begin to shift the energy. By understanding your responses, you can begin to choose a different path. As you observe these patterns, you begin to unlock their hold over you. This ties directly back to the wake-up analogy and the patterns that we've discussed so far. Deprogramming is essentially breaking free from the system's patterns by consciously choosing new ones, by choosing to step outside of the unconscious limitations of the matrix. The act of reclaiming your attention and choosing where the focus goes is the key to freedom from the programming. By consciously choosing your responses, you are rewriting your own script. It's about consciously stepping outside of the system's programming and taking control of your inner world, and by doing that, you also begin to control your outer world. This is not a passive acceptance of your fate, but the active and intentional creation of a reality that is aligned with your highest potential. It is time to rewrite the program. True power is not about external control or force over others, but rather about internal strength and self-mastery. It's not something you need to acquire, but something you already possess, an innate capacity that has always been there, but has been veiled by the programming and distractions of the system. The system works tirelessly to confuse power with the control of the outer world, keeping people distracted from the true power, which lies within, and is the ability to direct your own consciousness with intention to consciously choose your focus. This is the ability to decide how you respond to your own life. True power is found in your ability to direct your own attention, to choose your own focus, to consciously create your own reality. This power is inherent within you, waiting to be remembered and activated. The realization that reality is a co-creation shifts your perception from a passive victim to an active participant, and with that understanding comes the responsibility to consciously shape your own experience. By aligning your inner intention with your outer action, you begin to become a true co-creator, and you are no longer playing the role that has been assigned to you, but creating your own. The final shift is simply a movement toward the awareness of this co-creation, and that shift is happening right now, in this very moment. It is not something that is going to happen in the future, but something that is already happening in this very moment. Your consciousness is what is shaping your reality, and when you align that awareness with your action, you step into your own true power. The choice is always yours, and you are never powerless. To actively step into the role of co-creator, it is time to begin integrating practical tools and exercises into your daily life. Start with mindful intention setting by consciously choosing your desired outcome in every moment. Before engaging in any activity, ask yourself what your intention is. You may have done it unconsciously before. Now it's time to do it with intention. Practice emotional control by observing your reactions and consciously choosing your responses, not reacting automatically. Utilize visualization techniques by vividly imagining your desired outcome with all of your senses. By actively choosing where you direct your focus, you are actively shaping your experience. Remember, this is not just about believing, but about doing the work to move into the place of co-creation. You have the ability to consciously direct your focus, and that is the key to accessing your power right now, in this moment. This connects directly to the final shift, the reclaiming your attention, and activating your observer concepts, which are not separate ideas, but interwoven parts of the same process. This shift is not some far-off event, it's a continuous process of internal awakening, and each time you choose to reclaim your attention, you are activating your observer, and you begin to shift your reality, both inner and outer. By shifting your individual consciousness, you transform the world around you, and you do it by consciously choosing your focus. You have the power to step out of the matrix, to become the architect of your own experience, and to consciously co-create the reality you desire, and it's time to take your power back and to step into the life you are meant to live. This is the map. Now it's time to go. Now, let's explore the practical application of this knowledge, moving beyond the theoretical understanding and into tangible actions that you can implement right now, in this very moment. Mindful intention setting is a powerful practice to direct your conscious energy and shape the reality you experience. Intentions are not merely wishes or desires. They are clear, focused statements of what you choose to experience and achieve. Consider this. Instead of simply going through your day reacting to whatever comes your way, what if you consciously set the intention for how that day unfolds? For example, before heading into a potentially tense meeting with a difficult coworker, set the intention to approach the situation with understanding and compassion, and intend for a positive outcome for all involved. Then, as you enter the situation, observe your thoughts and feelings. Are they aligned with your intention? If you find yourself feeling frustrated or angry, pause, observe that feeling without judgment, and consciously shift your focus back to your intention. This isn't about suppressing your emotions, but consciously choosing a response that serves your intention, thus taking the energy of that emotion and transmuting it into conscious creation. It's about taking the energy from the what is and transmuting it into the what could be by choosing where you direct your focus. By aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your stated intention, you begin to shape your personal reality by choice, becoming a more active participant rather than a passive reactor. This is the key to unlocking your true potential by reclaiming your attention. Remember, it is not the action itself that matters most, but the direction of your focus. This idea of consciously choosing your response leads directly into the concept of emotional control, which is not about suppressing your feelings, but observing them with awareness and choosing how to respond, thereby turning those feelings into conscious actions. It's about recognizing that your intense emotional reactions are often rooted in past conditioning, and by observing the origin of these responses, they begin to lose their power. Imagine you're driving in traffic, and another driver cuts you off, causing you to feel a surge of anger. This is an automatic response, often rooted in a sense of injustice or violation. But instead of reacting with aggression, which only perpetuates a negative cycle, you can choose to observe the feeling of anger as it arises, without judgment. You can even ask yourself, what is this feeling showing me? What is the root of this anger? By simply taking a breath and observing the feeling, you create space for choice and prevent the anger from escalating into an aggressive act. This pause, this conscious choice, is the ultimate form of personal power, because in that moment, you have chosen to be the observer of your experience, not just the reactor. This is exactly what it means to activate your observer, to become aware that you are not your emotions, but the one who is experiencing them. You are the awareness behind the emotion, and by acknowledging that awareness, you begin to unlock the power of conscious choice and reclaim your power. The power of visualization offers another tangible tool for shaping your reality. For if your mind cannot tell the difference between a vivid imagination and a real experience, then you can use that as a tool for change. Visualization is essentially mentally rehearsing the desired outcome, and it's a powerful practice that makes it easier for that outcome to manifest in your physical reality. Before giving a big presentation at work, instead of feeling nervous and overwhelmed, visualize yourself confidently delivering a successful presentation. Engage all of your senses, see yourself on the stage, hear your voice, feel the positive response of the audience, and notice how good you feel. If you feel resistance or negative feelings as you visualize, observe those without judgment, then consciously change them to the positive outcome that you intend to create. This isn't just about wishing for a positive outcome, it's about consciously aligning your energy with your desired outcome, and you do that by directing the focus of your attention. This isn't wishful thinking. It's about propaving the neural pathways of your brain, making it easier to step into that reality. By visualizing the desired outcome, you are essentially creating a template for your experience, programming it into your subconscious. You are literally directing the energy of the universe to create what you intend to experience. This is the true power of the conscious mind, and by reclaiming your attention, you become the master architect of your own reality. This entire process is like waking up from the unconscious programming that has been dictating your reactions, emotions, and ultimately, your reality. It's about moving from a place of unconscious reactivity to conscious creation. By consciously choosing to focus your attention and set clear intentions, you are no longer just reacting to the patterns of the system, but actively shaping your own reality. The practice of mindful intention setting, emotional control, and visualization are interconnected steps that build upon each other, and this is not a linear process, but a constant evolution. The more you practice these techniques, the stronger your power to consciously create your reality becomes, and you begin to see the world from a place of power rather than powerlessness. The pattern is observe, choose, create, and that pattern is the key to breaking free from the matrix. This awareness is the key to shifting from being a character in the play to becoming the director, and by taking your attention back, you become the very power you were always meant to be. Now, let's move our focus from the individual to the collective, for your personal transformation isn't just for your benefit. It has a direct impact on the collective consciousness. Every time an individual reclaims their power, it creates a ripple effect, contributing to a broader shift of consciousness for all. Think of it like a pebble dropped into a pond. The initial impact is small, but the ripples quickly expand outward, touching every corner of the pond and having a greater and greater impact. Similarly, every action you take, no matter how small, sends ripples through the collective, contributing to either its suffering or its expansion. When you choose to act with kindness, compassion, and intention, you contribute to a world that is filled with those qualities. On the other hand, when you choose to react with anger, fear, and negativity, you contribute to a world of disharmony. This shows that you are not just an isolated individual, but an interconnected part of a whole, and this is the nature of co-creation. Everything is linked. Each time you choose to reclaim your power, you empower others to do the same. This responsibility of interconnectedness is the very core of this final shift. Understanding that you are part of a greater whole naturally leads to the concept of harmonious co-creation, and moving away from competition to collaborative efforts for the betterment of the whole. The system that has tried to keep us separated for so long has led us to believe that there isn't enough to go around, that the only way to succeed is by outcompeting others, but that is the lie of the Matrix. It is a zero-sum game mentality that keeps everyone in a constant state of separation and fear. But when we begin to move into the awareness of interconnectedness, we realize that what is good for one is also good for all, and there is enough to go around. Imagine a local community coming together to build a new school, not as individuals trying to get ahead, but as a collective working towards a common goal. And with each person using their unique talents, the project grows more rapidly and becomes more robust than any individual could have done on their own. The power of this collective effort lies in the synergy of the team, and that is the nature of harmonious co-creation. This is the essence of the final spiritual shift, moving away from the mentality of separation and competition into one of unity and cooperation. It's the shift from thinking, I win, you lose, to we all win. This shift takes us beyond the narrow confines of individualism, realizing that the pursuit of selfish desires is a trap of the system that keeps you isolated and disconnected from the collective. As your personal power expands, There is a natural call to act for the betterment of the whole, which can be seen as a paradox. But this paradox becomes a natural outcome of moving into the awareness of interconnectedness. The system wants you to stay focused on your own self-gain, believing that if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. But that very belief is what keeps us trapped in the limitation of the matrix. It keeps everyone operating in their own little world, disconnected from the collective. But as your inner power grows, you realize that true fulfillment comes from contributing to the good of all, understanding that when one of us rises, we all rise. The goal shifts from fulfilling selfish desires to aligning your will with the collective good. And as this shift progresses, a greater sense of purpose and belonging begins to grow within you. This is what the final spiritual shift is all about, moving beyond individual desire and into collective harmony. Remember our core principle of reclaiming your attention and see how that principle applies to the collective consciousness. By shifting the collective focus from fear and separation to love and unity, we can literally shift the world. The system will always try to maintain control by creating division, by keeping us pitted against each other, and this is why this shift is so urgent. We have to begin to recognize the patterns, not just in our personal life, but in the world around us. This is not to say that there isn't a place for challenge, for it is through challenge that we grow. But when challenges come from a place of division and separation, we keep perpetuating the patterns of the matrix. As we collectively begin to reclaim our attention, we can choose to focus on a future that is rooted in love, compassion, and collaboration. The system's very power relies on keeping the masses asleep. But as more individuals begin to awaken, the collective begins to rise. And this is the final shift that is happening now, in this moment, and it requires active participation. Now let's intensify the idea that the final shift isn't an event in the future, but an ongoing, ever-present opportunity that is available in every single moment. There isn't some future date that we are moving towards. It is a continuous process that is happening right now, and that requires your conscious choice. The system wants you to believe that there is a destination, that once we arrive, everything will be okay. But this is just another pattern to keep us moving away from the present moment, the only moment where change can occur. It's a constant stream of opportunities to choose consciously, and each moment that you spend waiting is another moment that is spent within the limitations of the system. Imagine a river flowing downstream. The flow is always present and ever moving, and the same is true with this final shift. It is not something in the future, but the movement of the present. There is no future moment that we are waiting for. There is only the present moment, and the choice you make right now determines where the flow of that river will lead. This is not a time to wait or hesitate. This is a time for action. This process of consciously choosing the direction of your focus will bring resistance, as old programming tries to keep you in the old familiar patterns, and the system actively works to keep you trapped in these ways. It's a natural part of the awakening process, and it's something to be expected. The system uses subtle tactics such as fear-based news, shame-based messaging, and countless distractions to keep you in a state of reactivity, and this is where the observer comes in. When you are faced with these resistances, observe them without engaging and without judgment. It is the act of observing that robs the resistance of its power. The goal is not to fight the resistance, but rather to step outside of it and choose to focus on the path you intend to create. For example, when you see a fear-based article online, instead of getting sucked into the story and reacting with anxiety, pause, observe the emotion without judgment, and consciously choose where to direct your attention. This is not a sign of failure, but a sign that your old patterns are being challenged, and this is a necessary part of the journey. Committing to this process of transformation is the key to moving through resistance, for it is a continuous process rather than a one-time event. Consistent daily practice of consciously choosing where you direct your attention and setting intentions is what begins to reprogram the old patterns of the system. and these small acts of awareness have a ripple effect. It doesn't need to be an intense change, but rather a consistent one. Think of it like going to the gym every day. It's not about intense workouts once in a while, but consistent effort over time that leads to real transformation. The same applies to shifting the reality of your life. The real change happens when you actively choose the direction of your attention, and this requires a daily commitment. Every moment you choose to engage the observer is a moment that you are breaking the limitations of the system, and every moment you do, you move one step closer to realizing your full potential. This entire process of overcoming resistance and shifting your perspective can be done by using the concept of activating your observer. For by simply observing the old programming without judgment, the patterns begin to lose their power. Remember the duality we've discussed of light and dark, of order and chaos, and understand that the contrast of the old system is a vital part of the shift into the new. For without the contrast, there can be no clarity. The system may feel overwhelming, but that doesn't mean it isn't necessary for growth. It's the very friction that sharpens the edges of your awareness, allowing you to see the light. This isn't a battle, but a dance, and each time you choose to activate your observer and reclaim your attention, you move more and more into the new way of being. This is not just about overcoming the resistance of the Matrix, but about recognizing that the very darkness of the Matrix was always serving a greater purpose, to bring you into your full power. Now let's introduce a new perspective shift, revealing that the system, the Matrix, wasn't built to harm you, but was instead designed to provide you with the experiences necessary for growth, challenge, and understanding. The system is not your enemy, it's a game, and the game was designed for evolution. The point was to forget the true nature of your own power, to immerse yourself in the simulation to have a unique experience. The forgetting was a vital part of the human experience, a necessary ingredient for the challenge. This perspective redefines the conflict from a battle against the system to a journey of self-discovery, where you are remembering the true nature of your power. This is not about defeating the system, but rather about transcending it by remembering who you truly are. The point wasn't to stay trapped in the Matrix, but to use it to grow into greater awareness. This realization that your power was never taken, but simply forgotten, shifts the entire perspective, because now is the time to remember. The system tried to convince you that you didn't have power, but you always did, and that is the very power of choice. The power to choose is the very fabric of your being, but the system wants you to think that your only choice is to play the game as they laid it out. This remembering is what this final shift is all about, and it requires your active participation. Now that you see the game, it's up to you to decide how you wish to play it. By recognizing the power that you always had, but forgot, you move from a place of powerlessness into a place of full empowerment and take your place as the conscious creator. This moment is about moving from the limitations of the Matrix and stepping into the infinite potential that has always been within you. Ultimately, the final shift is a shift in perspective from being a passive participant to a conscious co-creator, and the decision is yours in every moment to choose the perspective you wish to embody. You can choose to remain a character in the play or step into your role as the director, using your power to intentionally create. You can choose to believe that the world is happening to you or that the world is happening through you. And once you know that you have the ability to choose, there are no more excuses, for you are consciously choosing how you will move forward. You have always been free. The chains were only ever in your mind, and by understanding how they were created, you also understand that you hold the key to unlocking them. Choosing to remain in the old paradigm is also a choice, but it's one that you are making consciously now, and by choosing consciously, you begin to activate your full potential. This choice is happening now, in this moment, and the power is yours. This shift in perspective brings us back to the idea of the Matrix, and that it was always there. But now, with your awareness of the observer, you can decide how you wish to engage with it. The game is still there, and you are always free to choose how you want to play. The ability to be the observer is the key to playing the game, for when you begin to observe, you begin to see the subtle patterns and limitations that the system uses to hold you back, and in that seeing, you begin to transcend. The final shift is simply about choosing to be the player rather than the character, and as you step into this role, you move into full awareness of the power you truly hold. By understanding the nature of the Matrix and recognizing the observer within, you become the master of your own destiny, the co-creator of your own experience, and in doing so, you free yourself from the limitations of the Matrix, once and for all. Now that you've begun to understand the nature of the Matrix and your role as the observer, let's put this understanding into practical action and begin to consciously dismantle the programming that has been keeping you from your true power. The first step is recognizing that deprogramming starts with awareness. It's a process of actively questioning the assumptions and beliefs that have been passed down, often without your consent. It's about shining the light of awareness onto the shadows of your mind. When you encounter an automatic reaction, a knee-jerk response to a situation, pause and ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Is this reaction truly aligned with my values, or is it a program playing out? Then dig a little deeper. Where did this belief come from? Was it something I learned from my parents, from school, from the media? Does it serve me? This process of self-inquiry is not meant to be a harsh interrogation, but rather a gentle exploration. It's about cultivating a sense of curiosity about your inner world and recognizing that not all thoughts and beliefs are true just because they are present. It's about becoming a detective in your own mind, seeking out the roots of your programming and deciding which beliefs you choose to carry forward and which you choose to release. Each time you pause and ask these questions, you are reclaiming your attention and directing your focus towards conscious awareness. This is the very act of activating your observer, and it's where true change begins. Beyond the internal work of mindful questioning, you must also take steps to limit the external influences that perpetuate the old programming. The modern world is filled with constant streams of information designed to keep you in a state of reactivity. And the first step in reclaiming your power is to consciously curate your environment by choosing what you consume. This means reducing your exposure to media that promotes fear, division, and negativity. Set specific times for media consumption rather than constantly being connected. Curate your social media feeds, choosing to follow accounts that inspire and uplift you, and consciously unfollow any accounts that leave you feeling drained or anxious. Be mindful of the books you read, the documentaries you watch, and the conversations you engage in. This is not about living in a bubble, but about actively choosing the information that feeds your mind and your soul. For example, if you notice that following a particular news cycle leaves you feeling fearful and helpless, consciously choose to engage with a source that is more solution-oriented, or simply choose to step away from the news altogether. This conscious choice is about taking back control of your environment and actively choosing what you focus on. Remember the principle of duality, that there is always a positive and negative pole, and it is your choice which one you focus on. By limiting the negative input, you create space for the positive to take root, and you consciously direct the flow of your energy. This is how you begin to break the chains of the Matrix, by actively choosing to not participate in the old patterns. To further support this process, you must consciously direct your energy towards the reality you wish to create, and this is where the practice of daily intention setting becomes a powerful tool. When you begin each day, take a few moments to intentionally set the direction of your focus and choose how you wish to move through the day, rather than simply reacting to what happens to you. This process should be very clear and specific. Instead of vague wishes, formulate clear intentions. For example, rather than saying, "I hope I have a good day," say, "I intend to be present in every moment today and to approach all challenges with creativity and grace." Then, as you move through your day, check back in with your intentions. Are your actions aligned with your stated desires? If not, pause, recenter, and consciously choose to move in alignment with your intentions. At the end of the day, review your intentions, acknowledging what worked well and where you might need to adjust. This is not about achieving perfection, but about cultivating a consistent practice of conscious choice. By setting clear intentions each day, you're not just hopping for a better future. You are actively creating it. By intentionally setting your direction, you become the conscious co-creator of your own experience, and you step into the role of the director rather than the actor. This is not just about wishful thinking, it's about choosing the direction of your focus and actively directing your energy towards the world you choose to create. These practices of mindful questioning, limiting external influence, and daily intention setting are all interconnected parts of reclaiming your attention. For each action is a choice to direct your focus and energy towards conscious creation. They may appear to be small steps, but they are the foundation for breaking free from the patterns of the matrix. By consistently choosing to question your programming, limit negative input, and set clear intentions, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind and create a new reality. It is not about fighting against the matrix, but about simply choosing not to participate in its limitations, for it is your attention that gives it its power, and by taking back your attention, you take back your power. The power was never lost. It was simply veiled by unconscious programming, and these practices are designed to bring it back into the light of conscious awareness. By consciously directing your energy, you begin to rewrite the script of your life and take your place as the conscious creator of your experience. The matrix is a mirror, and by changing the inner world, the outer world automatically shifts to reflect that change. Now, let's deepen the understanding of your inner power and explore the transformative potential of emotional alchemy by transmuting lower vibrational emotions into higher ones. You must understand that emotions are not to be feared or suppressed, but rather understood, observed, and then transformed. When you feel an emotion that is considered negative, like anger, sadness, or fear, pause and observe the sensation in your body. Notice where you feel it and the intensity, but do not judge it or try to resist it. Simply allow the feeling to be there fully, without giving it a story or reacting from the feeling. Ask yourself, what is this feeling showing me? What is the energy behind it? Then, consciously choose how to move that energy. For example, when you feel anger, instead of reacting by lashing out or suppressing it, choose to channel the energy into action. Perhaps you use that anger to fuel a workout or to take action on a cause you care about. This is not about avoiding or denying your feelings. It's about becoming aware of the energy behind them and consciously choosing how you will express them. Emotions are simply energy in motion, and they become a destructive force only when you resist or act unconsciously from them. This practice of emotional alchemy allows you to transform what appears negative into a source of fuel for positive change, and moves you from a place of reactivity into conscious creation. You become the master of your emotions, rather than being their slave, and you use the energy to move forward with conscious awareness. You're not resisting the feeling, you are transmuting the energy, and this is a key component of self-mastery. This mastery of emotions then leads directly to the power of visualization and the conscious creation of your reality. It goes beyond simply thinking about what you want to experience into the realm of vividly and fully feeling the experience as if it is already happening. The key here is to engage all of your senses and really feel the experience in your body. When you visualize your desired reality, bring in the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and physical sensations. For example, if you are visualizing a successful business, see the details of your workspace, hear the conversations of your happy clients, smell the success in the air, taste the excitement, and feel the satisfaction in your body. Don't just visualize a picture, fully immerse yourself in the experience. As you visualize, if any doubt or resistance arises, observe it without judgment, and then consciously redirect your focus back to your desired outcome. This isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about consciously aligning your energy with the reality you wish to experience, and it's this consistent practice that creates the neural pathways, making it more likely to manifest. By activating your observer, you become the conscious creator of your reality, actively shaping the world you wish to live in. It is a powerful tool that helps you to harness the creative energy that is always available to you, and with the power of the observer, you begin to direct it intentionally. The act of visualization is about choosing where you direct your focus, and by doing so, you align the energy of the universe with your desires. The understanding of self-mastery is a never-ending journey, and that it is vital to approach this process with compassion and kindness for yourself. The goal is not to achieve perfection, but to learn and grow with each experience, and remember that setbacks, resistance, and doubt are all natural parts of the process. When you encounter these challenges, instead of being discouraged, observe them with curiosity and remember the observer perspective. Ask yourself what these challenges are showing you. How can these difficulties serve your growth rather than act as roadblocks? Self-mastery isn't about eliminating challenges. It's about transforming your relationship to them by moving through them with greater ease and grace. This process requires you to release the need for control and embrace the process of learning, knowing that it is consistency, rather than perfection, that leads to real transformation. Remember the duality of light and dark, order and chaos, for each plays a vital role in your growth, and every challenge provides you with an opportunity to strengthen your inner power. By embracing the journey and holding space for yourself with compassion, you step into the full power that has always been available to you. These practices of emotional alchemy and visualization are all interconnected and build upon the foundation of personal power and co-creation. Each practice strengthens your ability to consciously shape your reality, and the more you commit to these practices, the more powerfully you move out of the control of the system. This shift is happening now, in this present moment, and it's your investment of attention to these principles that accelerates your movement into true freedom. The point is not to fight the system, but to transcend it by taking full ownership of your personal power and directing it intentionally. Each of these practices strengthens your observer, allowing you to see the subtle patterns of the matrix and move beyond its limitations. The final shift is not something to be waited for, but something to be embodied, and that journey starts with the very next moment. The more you commit to self-mastery, the more quickly you remember who you truly are. Now, let's move our focus to the understanding that your reality is a direct reflection of your inner beliefs and states of consciousness, which brings us to the principle of reality as a mirror. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, which means that what you experience is a direct reflection of your inner thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. It also means that if you want to change your external reality, you must first look within and change your internal reality. If you constantly see conflict, struggle, and limitation in the outside world, it's because there are corresponding conflicts, struggles, and limitations playing out in your inner world. It's not about blaming yourself or feeling shame, but about simply becoming aware so that you can consciously make a change. For example, imagine looking into a mirror and seeing an expression that you don't like, and instead of trying to change the mirror, you change your own expression, and the mirror automatically reflects that change back. The same is true for the world around you. The world is your mirror, and the first step to shifting your outer world is to shift your inner world. This process is not about pretending that everything is good, but about transforming your inner world so that you create a new foundation for your outer world. The mirror simply reflects back your inner world, so if you want to change the reflection, you must change the source. This understanding that reality is a mirror leads directly to another perspective shift. The concept of nonlinear time, understanding that all moments exist simultaneously, and that the power to create exists in the present moment. The past, the present, and the future are not separate points on a timeline. They are interconnected and existing simultaneously. From this expanded perspective, You can access any point in time and choose to change your experience and your trajectory. The past traumas can be healed from the present moment, and future realities can be chosen with clarity and intention. The point of power exists only in the present, which is the intersection of the past and the future. From this place of present awareness, you can release yourself from the shackles of the past and choose a more empowering future, and this is all because of the power you hold in this present moment. This is not to say that the past did not happen or that the future is already determined, but it is to say that you can access any point in time from the present and you can influence it. To step out of linear time, close your eyes and take a deep breath, then focus your attention on the present sensation of your breath. Allow any thoughts of the past or the future to pass and come back to the present moment with each breath. This practice will connect you to the nonlinear experience of time and allow you to influence the past, present, and future, all from the power of this very moment. It is from this place of the present moment that you fully activate your observer, the part of you that exists outside of time, and can therefore move freely through it. This understanding of time then brings us to an expanded understanding of the system, and that it was always designed to be a mirror, reflecting back the collective beliefs of each individual and all of humanity. The system was created to provide you with the experiences you need to evolve, and is not a force that is out to get you. This can be a difficult pill to swallow, because it goes against the fear-based narrative, but the truth is that the system is not your enemy, but a vital teacher, allowing you to see the areas of shadow that are ready for healing. The goal was never to stay trapped in the matrix, but to use the contrast to choose what you want to create. The system is like a funhouse mirror, showing you what is not true, so that you can remember who you are and what is true. It's like having a challenging workout, which creates the conditions for strength and growth. The challenges provided by the system are necessary for the growth of the soul. The key is to understand that you are not meant to defeat the system, but to transcend it through love, compassion, and understanding. The only way to move beyond the system is to love the system, for that very system was designed to reveal the contrast of your own power. This offers a deeper perspective than simply blaming the system, for it moves into the space of accountability, where you can choose a different reflection, simply by choosing differently. This entire process is about activating your observer and seeing that the system is a reflection of your own beliefs, and it is this shift in perspective that unlocks the power to change it. The final shift is not about escaping reality, but about consciously shaping it from within. The key is to transform your inner world, and the outer world will automatically reflect that shift. By stepping into the power of the observer, you begin to see how the patterns work and choose to no longer participate in the limitations. By transforming your inner world, and then loving the system that showed you the contrast, you move into a new way of being. The Matrix was always designed to show you who you are by showing you what you are not, and the final shift is about reclaiming your power as the conscious creator of your own experience by taking back your attention. Finally, let's integrate these ideas and move into the final activation of your power by reiterating the importance of choice and empowering you to consciously create your reality. The ultimate power has always been yours, the power to choose your focus, your reaction, and your creation, and it is always available in every single moment. It's not some special power that you have to develop, but it is the very essence of your being. This final shift isn't a singular event, but rather the ongoing choice you make in every moment, and it is these small, consistent choices that create the biggest transformation. Every moment is an opportunity to step into your power or to stay trapped in the limitations of the system, and you are always free to choose, and you have always been. Remember, reclaiming your attention, because in that conscious choice, you will find that your ability to create has always been within you. This power of choice is not some gift you must earn, but a fundamental part of your being. For every situation, you always have a choice, And even in the face of adversity, you have the power to choose how you will respond. The key to breaking free from the control of the system is activating your observer, for that perspective allows for conscious choice, rather than automatic reaction. When you observe, you see the subtle patterns that keep you trapped, and you become free to choose how you will engage, rather than being a pawn in the game. The system is designed to keep your focus outward, away from the power that lies within, but with the power of the observer, you can choose to bring your focus back into the present moment. Think of yourself as a character in a movie. As the character, you are at the mercy of the script, but as the observer, you can change the script at any time. It is the observer who has always held the power, and the system simply tries to keep your focus away from it. The truth is, you have never been powerless, and your power was simply waiting to be remembered. The system is designed to reflect the limitations, but the power always belonged to the observer. It's time to understand that this shift is not a solitary one, but a collective transformation that you are now a vital part of. Your personal transformation has a direct impact on the collective consciousness, and when you move into harmony, you inspire the world to do the same. This final shift is about understanding interconnectedness and moving away from the isolation of individualism towards the power of harmonious co-creation. Every conscious choice you make has a ripple effect, contributing to either the limitation or the expansion of the collective. And as you step into your power, you become a beacon for others to do the same. It is time to move beyond the limited perspective of individualism and step into the powerful co-creation of a new world where everyone thrives. This power is not something that you have to learn, it is something you are remembering. And as you move into this space of co-creation, you unlock the power of collective potential. You are a vital part of this shift, and by choosing to remember, you light the way for everyone else. This final shift is not some event in the distant future, it's happening right now, in this moment. By taking the tools that we've explored and applying them to your daily life, you begin to actively create the reality you want to experience. As you reclaim your attention, transform your emotions, and set clear intentions, you step into your role as the conscious creator of your experience. This is not a passive process. It is an active, conscious choice that you make every moment, and it is the constant movement in this direction that brings the most powerful results. This understanding is the foundation for all of the concepts that are yet to come. And with this perspective shift, you are now ready to move forward with the true understanding of the infinite power that is always available to you. The shift is here, the time is now, and the choice is yours. Let's take a moment to bring all of these ideas together, so you can fully see the interconnectedness of these concepts, and how they all play a role in consciously shaping your reality. You now understand that the matrix is the system of control, a construct of beliefs, limitations, and patterns designed to keep you in a state of reactivity, but that within this system you exist as the observer, the conscious awareness that is not limited by the system itself. You have also explored how your beliefs are programmed by societal structures, and how these programs create limitations and patterns that hold you in the matrix. You also know now that the key to moving beyond these limitations is through the activation of the observer, and by intentionally directing your attention. These concepts are not separate, but are interconnected parts of the same journey, just like an artist using all of their tools to create a masterpiece. The canvas is the reality, the colors are the emotions, and the observer is the artist who chooses which color goes where and how to mix them. This understanding allows you to see that the matrix, the programming, and the observer are all different aspects of the same system, and that you hold the power to choose which aspect you engage with. It is your conscious choice that moves you from the role of a pawn in the game to the creator of the game itself, and it is always available. As we've explored, you now have many practical tools at your disposal that support this conscious co-creation, and they are all interconnected like a masterful instrument. The practice of mindful questioning allows you to identify the patterns of programming within the matrix. The process of limiting external influences allows you to curate your environment in a way that supports your growth. By setting daily intentions, you intentionally direct the focus of your attention, while emotional alchemy allows you to transform lower vibrational emotions into fuel for creative action, and visualization empowers you to consciously create the future you wish to experience with intention. These practices are not simply mental exercises, but are powerful tools for shaping your experience, just like a musician uses their instrument to create a melody. The instrument is the body, the fingers are the attention, and the melody is your conscious creation. Each tool serves its purpose, but when used together they create a symphony of intention, moving you closer to your desired outcome. Just as a single note on a piano can change the entire melody, so too can setting an intention each morning shift the direction of your entire day. These practices are not separate actions, but are interconnected parts of the same system of conscious creation, and when they are combined, they become incredibly powerful. You've also now discovered the patterns that bind these concepts together. We've discussed the wake-up analogy, the idea of seeing behind the curtain of the matrix, which acts as a constant reminder that there is more to this reality than what meets the eye. You've also learned the importance of reclaiming your attention, which acts as a call to action, to consciously choose where you direct your focus and to move away from reactive patterns. And we've explored the concept of activating your observer, which helps you to see beyond the limitations of the system. These patterns aren't just ideas, they're interconnected threads of truth woven throughout this journey. Just like a spider weaving its web, each thread plays a vital role in the whole structure. The wake-up is the spark, reclaiming attention is the direction of the energy, and activating the observer is how you see the whole web. It is not a linear process, but a constant movement between each concept that allows you to move out of the matrix and into conscious creation, and it is through this constant practice that you become the master of your own experience. This understanding is not just a review of the past, but the very foundation for moving forward into even greater levels of understanding and action, for each concept builds on the previous one, creating a solid framework for conscious co-creation. Just like the foundation of a skyscraper, everything else is built on its core strength, and that is exactly what this is for you. The more you consciously choose to engage with the power of the observer, the more you see the patterns of the matrix, and the more effectively you can use intention to shape your reality as your understanding deepens and your power expands. This is not the end of the journey, but rather a stepping stone that empowers you to dive deeper into the infinite potential of your own consciousness and prepare you for what is to come. This is the bridge that takes you from understanding the concepts to actively applying them to every facet of your life, showing you that you're ready to move into the more advanced practices that will further empower you to consciously create your reality. Now, let's delve into the more advanced applications of consciousness and explore how you can actively shape not just your personal experience, but the very environment you exist within, starting with the power of intention. It's time to move beyond just setting goals for yourself and actively choose the energy and dynamics of the relationships and environments that surround you. Instead of passively accepting the interactions you have, choose the energy that you bring to every situation. For example, before entering a meeting or any social interaction, set the intention to bring clarity, compassion, and understanding. Visualize yourself radiating that energy and watch how it changes the dynamic of the interaction. This isn't about controlling others, but about consciously choosing the energy that you bring to every situation. And by setting that intention, you become a beacon of that energy. You'll notice how these conscious choices influence the quality of your relationships and the overall energy of your surroundings, just like the sun brings light and warmth to everything it touches. This is about becoming a conscious co-creator of the energy you want to experience, and not just in personal goals, but in the world around you. You consciously set the stage for how you wish to move in the world. This process of intentional engagement then moves directly into your ability to navigate complex challenges with greater clarity and balance by using the power of the observer, for it is through the observer that you can see beyond the reactive emotions. It's vital to realize that challenges aren't roadblocks, but are merely opportunities to strengthen your inner power by activating the observer. Instead of being thrown into reactivity, choose to pause and observe the emotions that arise without judgment. Just like watching the waves of the ocean, you can observe your emotions without being swept away by them. By observing, you create a space between the stimulus and your response, giving you the ability to choose how you move through the challenge and to move from a place of reactivity into a place of conscious creation. For example, if you receive upsetting news, instead of immediately reacting with anger or fear, take a few moments to breathe, observe your feelings, and then choose a response that is aligned with your values and your desired outcome. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather transmuting them into a more balanced and empowering approach. The observer is your strength, your ability to see beyond the chaos and move forward with grace and intention that no matter the challenge, the power of the observer is always there to support you. Every single choice you make, no matter how small, contributes to shaping your reality, which is why conscious decision-making is such an important aspect of active creation. Even what you choose to eat, how you speak to others, and where you choose to focus your attention all contribute to the energy you are creating and the world you are experiencing. Instead of seeing these as mundane choices, recognize that each decision has a ripple effect, setting an energy in motion. For example, choosing to eat healthy food is not just about your physical body, but it also shifts your energy and clarity, which then impacts the decisions you make and the actions you take. Likewise, choosing to speak with kindness and compassion creates a positive energy in your relationships and your environment, just like planting a seed. Each choice creates the future that is to come. This moves beyond simply choosing between good and bad choices. It's about choosing empowering choices, choices that align with your values and move you closer to your desired outcome. Each choice is an opportunity to consciously create, and the more conscious you are, the more powerful the creation. This is not about control, it's about conscious choice and personal power, and that by setting clear intentions, navigating challenges mindfully, and making conscious decisions, you are actively co-creating your reality with the universe. It is a dance between your intention and the flow of the universe, and when aligned, there is infinite power. You are not a victim of circumstance, nor are you a passive recipient of life, but an active co-creator with the power to shape your experience in this very moment. This is the very essence of the final shift, the understanding that your power is here now, and you choose how you engage with it. The final shift isn't something to wait for. It is a moment-to-moment opportunity to apply these concepts and create the world you wish to experience. The time is always now, and you always have the power to choose your next step. Now let's move into the realm of emotional mastery and the art of consciously maintaining inner peace even in the face of chaos, by understanding that your emotional state is not a reaction, but a conscious choice. Just like a captain steers a ship, you can steer your emotional state, regardless of the storms that may be raging around you. This starts with recognizing that your emotions are not something to be controlled or suppressed, but something to be understood and observed by activating the observer and choosing how you will respond. When you notice an emotion rising, instead of reacting, pause, breathe deeply, and observe the sensation in your body. And this conscious pause gives you the ability to choose your emotional state, rather than being at the mercy of it. Practices like deep breathing or body scans move the energy out of the mind and into the body, creating a grounded response. And by grounding the energy in your body, you create an anchor of stability that allows you to move through any situation with balance and grace. This is not about pretending to be emotionless, but rather about choosing the emotions that serve you and that bring peace to the situation. By choosing your response, you become the master of your emotions, and you reclaim your power from the reactive patterns of the matrix. This is not about escaping emotion, but about becoming its master, and this process will bring you to your own inner peace. This mastery of your emotional state then allows you to transmute lower vibrational emotions into higher ones, moving beyond just simple suppression into conscious transmutation and becoming an alchemist of your own emotional world. You have the power to change the lower frequencies into higher ones, just as an alchemist turns lead into gold. When you feel emotions like anger, fear, or sadness, do not resist them, but simply observe them without judgment, and then consciously choose where to place that energy. Anger can become passion, fear can become courage, and sadness can become compassion, simply by shifting the energy. For example, if you feel anger rising, instead of reacting from the anger, you can consciously choose to transmute it into passion and channel that energy into a project you care about or an act of service. This is not about denying your feelings, but about consciously transforming them into something that serves you and the world around you, using that emotion as a source of creative power. This is about taking the energy and directing it intentionally, allowing you to move into a place of creativity rather than a place of destruction, and that is the very essence of emotional alchemy. This inner peace is not just a passive state, but an active source of power, that when your mind is calm and your emotions are centered, you create space for greater clarity, creativity, and inspired action. When your mind is calm, you can clearly see the solutions that were not available to you when your mind was caught in the chaos, just like a still lake reflects the sky. It is from this place of inner peace that your creative power is at its greatest. It's just like an artist who is inspired, the emotions are the power, and the observer allows them to consciously choose the expression of that power. By cultivating inner peace, you move from a reactive state into a creative state, where you can consciously shape your reality with greater ease and intention, and that is the true meaning of power. It isn't about control over others. It is about the control over your own self, so you can move through the world with intention. This brings us back to the observer, who is the source of this inner peace, and the very essence of your ability to choose your emotional response, rather than be driven by your emotions. It is through the observer that you can detach from the lower vibrational emotions and choose to move into a state of higher consciousness and action. By choosing where you direct your energy, you become the master of your own emotional landscape and reclaim your power from the reactive patterns of the matrix. And it is this skill that moves you into conscious creation. This process is a vital component of this final shift. And by mastering your emotional responses, you remember that true power is the ability to direct your own consciousness with intention, rather than being driven by unconscious emotions. It's from this place of mastery that you can begin to actively co-create the world you wish to experience and direct the power of the universe with intention and awareness. As you now begin to understand the power of individual action, let's explore how this power ripples out and impacts the collective consciousness. For no action is meaningless, and every choice you make has a profound effect on the world around you. Just like a pebble dropped in a pond creates ripples that expand outwards, so too does every action you take, both positive and negative, create a ripple effect in the collective consciousness. A simple act of kindness, a conscious choice to be positive, or even a moment of genuine love can have a profound effect on the people around you, creating a ripple effect of good energy. Conversely, actions of anger, negativity, and hate create negative ripples in the collective consciousness. But what is important is that you recognize that you have the power to choose. This isn't just about the actions you take, but the intention behind them, and it moves beyond individualism into the understanding of oneness, for you are never acting in isolation. Each action you take impacts the collective, and by aligning your actions with love, kindness, and compassion, you create a powerful force of positive change. This understanding that your actions have a ripple effect then moves directly into the importance of harmonious co-creation, that by working with others, aligned in intention and purpose, you can create even greater positive change in the world. When individuals come together with a shared vision and a heart-centered intention, they are capable of creating solutions that are greater than the sum of their parts. This is about moving away from the competition and division of the old matrix and moving into a place of cooperation and collaboration. This can be as simple as a neighborhood coming together to create a community garden, or a group of artists coming together to create a work of art. Just like the instruments in an orchestra, it is by playing together that they create a masterpiece, and the same is true for all of humanity. By recognizing the power of collective action, and by choosing to work in harmony with others, you create a powerful force for positive change, and this isn't just an ideal. It is a powerful force that has been present throughout history. You must also realize that there are limitations to individual action, and that the shift requires a move beyond individual desires into a collective vision for the good of all, moving beyond the limitations of a solely egoic perspective into the power of the interconnectedness. The goal is no longer about simply personal gain, but about how your actions serve the greater good, and by setting this intention, you move from limitations into a field of infinite possibilities. For example, if you are running a business, instead of focusing only on your own profits, you focus on how your business serves the community and the planet, and by setting this intention, you will begin to attract abundance and success. This move beyond the individual into the collective is what moves humanity towards evolution, creating a world where everyone can thrive, and your role in that world is vital. This is about understanding that the individual is a vital part of the whole, and each part plays a critical role in the overall system. This brings us back to the understanding of the final shift, and that it is about a collective movement towards consciousness and co-creation. This understanding moves past the fear-based narratives and into the understanding that you are not alone in this journey. By choosing to align with others and work together with intention, you exponentially amplify the power of this shift and move past the reactive patterns of the old matrix and into the creative potential of the new paradigm. It is vital that you understand that isolation and competition were tools used to keep you small, but that by coming together, we are truly unstoppable. The power of the collective will move humanity into the next phase, and by connecting with others, you amplify that power, that each of you are a vital part of a larger movement. Now let's challenge the core beliefs that keep you trapped in the old paradigm and directly confront the illusion of separation, which is one of the biggest tools of control. The truth is that everyone is interconnected and a part of the same unified consciousness, like the waves of the ocean, each one unique, yet all part of the same body of water. The us versus them mentality is a tool that the system uses to keep you distracted from your own power and your connection with others. The system thrives on division, and when you see the world through the lens of separation, you limit your own potential. But you must understand that this is not the truth, but simply programming. By embracing the interconnectedness of all beings, you unlock a greater sense of compassion and unity, recognizing that when one person thrives, all of humanity benefits. Just like cells working together in a body, we all have different functions, and by working in harmony, we create a more powerful whole, and that is the power of interconnectedness. The feeling of isolation is not truth, but programming, and when you see the world through the lens of unity, you're finally moving past the limitations of the old paradigm. We must also challenge the deeply ingrained belief in lack and limitation, that scarcity is the reality, for it is that belief that perpetuates the patterns of the old matrix and keeps you trapped in the cycle of competition and survival. The truth is that abundance is always available, and infinite potential is your birthright, like a limitless garden that is always providing more than enough. The system has programmed you to believe that there is never enough, which keeps you in a state of fear, constantly striving, and competing with each other for limited resources. This is not the truth, but it is the parameter of the game, and you are free to change those parameters at any moment. By recognizing that your potential is unlimited and that you are always connected to the source of abundance, you step out of the scarcity paradigm and into a place of unlimited potential and creation. There is more than enough for everyone, and that the limitation is not in reality, but in your own belief system. By shifting that belief, you immediately begin to align yourself with abundance, and you open yourself up to the infinite potential that is always available. Let's also confront the fear of death, which is another tool that keeps you trapped in the limitations of the old matrix, for it is often seen as an ending rather than a transition, and that fear keeps people focused on scarcity and survival rather than abundance and creation. The truth is that consciousness is eternal, and death is not an ending, but simply a transition from one state of being into another, like the caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. The essence remains, even as the form changes. By removing this limitation, you free yourself from the fear that has kept you trapped in the matrix, and open yourself up to a greater sense of freedom and purpose, understanding that your essence is limitless. This shift helps you to move past fear and into a place of infinite possibility, understanding that your essence is eternal, and you are simply on a journey of infinite exploration, and that death is simply a transition from one experience to another. These core beliefs, separation, lack, and the fear of death, are the very foundation of the limitations within the matrix, the very parameters of the game itself. They have been designed to keep you small, controlled, and in a state of fear, and by challenging these beliefs, you challenge the very core of the matrix itself and step into a new paradigm of infinite possibility. The matrix isn't just a system of external control, but a reflection of your own deeply held fears and beliefs, and by changing those beliefs, you begin to change the very foundation of the world around you. By understanding the roots of these limiting beliefs, you can move beyond them and into a greater expression of who you are and the very essence of your limitless potential. It's through challenging these core limitations that you understand that you're always in control, and nothing outside of you has power over you, unless you give it that power. Now that we have challenged the foundations of the old paradigm, let's step into the expanded perspective of what is truly possible, starting with expanded consciousness as the natural next step in this transformative process. Expanded consciousness is not something to achieve, but something to remember, for it is the natural state of your being when you move beyond the limitations of the egoic mind and into the unlimited potential of the observer and the understanding of your own interconnectedness with all of creation. This is not some mystical state that you need to work towards, but rather a natural expression of who you are when you release the layers of programming and limiting beliefs. It is your return to your original state of unlimited potential, and by remembering that, you begin to access the full power of your being and move beyond all limitations. With this understanding of expanded consciousness, we can move into the vision of what the world can look like when the collective consciousness moves into this higher vibration and actively co-creates with intention, compassion, and harmony. This is not some utopian dream, but an actionable possibility available right now, if we collectively make the choice to step into our power and choose co-creation over separation and scarcity. Imagine a world where everyone understands their interconnectedness and acts from a place of love, kindness, and compassion, where competition and division are replaced by collaboration and unity, where resources are shared equally, and where every individual is empowered to live their fullest potential. This vision is not a fantasy, but a very real potential, and with every step you take, you are contributing to its creation. This is about moving from fear into love, from separation into unity, and from the limitations of the old matrix into the unlimited potential of co-creation. And it is through our collective power that this vision becomes a reality. In this expanded perspective, the past, the present, and the future are not separate, but are interconnected in this present moment of choice. For time itself is simply a construct, and from this place of no time, you can change the past and shape the future simply by choosing a new perspective and setting a new intention. This allows you to access any point in time and influence your experience simply by choosing to do so, and that the power always resides in the present moment. This is about moving beyond the limitations of linear time into the understanding that the past, present, and future are all interconnected, and you have the power to influence them all from the infinite potential of the present. By freeing yourself from the shackles of linear time, you begin to see the infinite possibilities and access the power to shape your experience with greater clarity and intention. This final shift is not something that is coming in the future. It's happening now, and the concepts and practices are simply tools to support that movement. This is not something you have to wait for it's already here, and you are the key to activating it fully. You already have everything you need, and you are simply remembering your inherent power. The key is to move forward with intention, compassion, and a clear understanding that every choice you make contributes to the collective shift. And in this understanding, the tension builds as the choice is now yours. Let's explore the mechanics of manifestation through a new lens, using the metaphor of planting a seed to understand how your intentions become reality. Think of your intention as the seed itself, a tiny packet of potential containing the blueprint for what you wish to create, and it is through this understanding that you begin to shape your world with conscious awareness. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions then become the soil, water, and sun that nurture this seed and allow it to grow into the manifestation you desire. When the seed of intention is planted in fertile soil, with focused attention and consistent effort, it is destined to sprout, blossom, and bear fruit. But when the seed is planted in barren soil, with doubt and fear, it withers. The system often plants seeds of fear, limitation, and scarcity, but your power lies in consciously choosing the seeds you plant. And by understanding this, you become the master of your own garden and the world you experience. The role of belief is then the soil, the very foundation upon which your intentions take root and either thrive or wither, depending on the quality of the soil. If your beliefs are aligned with your intention, then you create a fertile ground for growth, where your dreams can flourish. However, if your beliefs are filled with doubt and fear, then even the most positive intentions will struggle to take hold, and this is often where the seeds planted by the system take root. For example, if you set the intention to create financial abundance, but you hold a deep-rooted belief that you are not worthy of it, then the intention will struggle to manifest, as the soil is contaminated and not nourishing. Your limiting beliefs are not truths, but simply programs that have been installed by the system, and they can be changed when you activate the observer, who can see that these beliefs are not you. The observer can choose a new belief, one that aligns with the desired outcome, creating fertile ground for your intentions to grow, and it is through this process you begin to master the art of conscious co-creation. Then, focused action and aligned emotion become the sun and water that nurture this seed. For intention alone is not enough. It must be supported by action and feeling. If you have the intention, but you take no action, it will not grow. Just like a farmer must tend to their crops, your intention requires focused and consistent action, and that must come from a place of aligned emotion. If you desire financial abundance, then you take actions that are aligned with that desire, such as taking courses or starting a business, and you feel into the feeling of already having it, with joy and gratitude, and that consistent action, paired with aligned emotions, is the sun and water that is required to see your intention flourish and become a living, breathing experience. You must realize that when action and emotion do not align, the seed will not grow, just like a plant without water and sun will eventually wither. This is the magic of conscious co-creation, where all three parts of the equation must be present for the intention to grow, and it is through this process that you move beyond wishful thinking into the power of co-creation with intention. The power to choose is always present, and it's in every moment that you choose what seeds you plant, how you tend to them, and what experiences you will bring into the world, and this conscious choice is always yours. You are not a passive recipient of life, but an active co-creator of it, and you always have the power to choose what you give your attention to, and it's in this single act of choice that your power lies. When you reclaim your attention, you are choosing which seeds to plant, and you are choosing the soil, the water, and the sun. And when you are conscious of this choice, then you become the master of your own garden. This moves beyond simply understanding these concepts into the practical application of choosing the seeds that you plant, and that this is how you integrate all the previous concepts into a single, powerful process, making them more actionable and tangible. And with every moment, you're either planting a seed of limitation or a seed of unlimited potential. But even as you begin to consciously plant the seeds of your desires, you will encounter internal resistance, for the ego will do everything it can to keep you in the old paradigm, and the patterns of self-sabotage are often the most difficult to see, for they are so familiar. The ego will use doubt and fear to keep you in your comfort zone, using old belief systems to sabotage your progress. But the key is to recognize these patterns without judgment or reaction. You may have the intention to move forward with a new project, but your ego may use doubt to sabotage that intention with feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure, and this will then keep you from moving forward, and it will do so in subtle and insidious ways, often disguising the limiting beliefs as a form of protection. This resistance is not something to be fought, but something to be observed with compassion, for it is simply the ego trying to maintain the status quo, and when you see it, you become empowered to move past it. To challenge these self-limiting beliefs, you must move beyond simple awareness into active transformation, for they are like weeds that grow in the garden of your mind and must be actively removed to make space for new growth. You can use mindful questioning to dig deeper and unearth the origins of these beliefs, showing them that they aren't you, but simply programs, and when you see them as programs, they will lose their power. For example, if you feel a pattern of "I'm not good enough" arising, use mindful questioning to explore the origins of this belief and ask yourself, when did I first start to believe this? And what is the evidence that this is true? You'll begin to see that the belief is based on past experiences that are often distorted or incomplete. When you bring awareness to these beliefs, you can begin to rewrite the program by choosing a new belief and acting from that new perspective, and that is how you transform the limiting belief into empowering truth. Moving into self-mastery requires courage, for you are stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the familiar patterns and beliefs that once provided comfort, but now limit your potential. This process can be scary and uncomfortable, for you're moving beyond the familiar and into uncharted territory, and this requires a great deal of self-compassion as you move through these unfamiliar feelings. This is often the part of the journey that many will choose to turn back, but remember that just beyond this discomfort is where growth begins, and you must be willing to be uncomfortable to expand your boundaries. The feelings of discomfort are simply an indication that the shift is working, and that you are moving beyond the old patterns, and by embracing these uncomfortable feelings, you make space for the light to shine, and that the discomfort is merely a sign that you are on the right path. The resistance you experience is not an obstacle, but simply a sign that the shift is working, and that the key to moving through it is consistent self-observation and compassion, and to not judge the feelings that arise, but simply be the observer of them without reaction. The wake-up analogy is not always a comfortable one, for there are uncomfortable truths along the way, but it's by embracing these truths that you will move through these patterns and into a deeper level of awareness. This journey is not about perfection, but about progress, and every step forward, no matter how small, moves you closer to the mastery that awaits. And when you see the resistance with compassion, you'll move through it with greater ease. The observer is the master here, and that is always your power. Let's now explore the concept of conscious co-creation on a collective scale, and the power that is unlocked when individuals come together with aligned intentions to create a shared vision. When we all focus on creating a world based on harmony, cooperation, and love, we create a powerful force for change, and it is through this collective focus that we can amplify our results. Just as a single voice can be heard, many voices united in song create a symphony, and so it is with the power of aligned intention. When individuals move beyond individualism and into collaboration, they amplify their creative power and are capable of achieving results far greater than they could accomplish alone, and this is a critical shift in consciousness. The seed metaphor then extends to the collective intention, showing that when many plant the same seed and tend to it with focused energy and belief, the manifestation is exponential, and it's in this collective intention that we can move beyond the limitations of the old system. The shift from competition to collaboration then becomes a fundamental aspect of this new paradigm, understanding that there is enough for everyone, and that the limitations were simply programs within the old system, designed to keep everyone small and fighting for resources that are infinitely available. Competition is simply a reflection of the scarcity mindset, for it's based on the belief that there are limited resources, and that in order to get what you need, you must take it from others. This is not the truth, but simply a program, and by moving into collaboration, you embrace the understanding of abundance, that there is more than enough for all, and that we are all working towards the same goal of a harmonious and thriving world. The old system thrives on division, but by working together, we move beyond these limitations and create a better outcome for everyone. This all leads to a new vision of Earth, one that is built on harmony, cooperation, and shared intentions, where the limitations of the old system have been completely transcended. Imagine a world where everyone is working together with open hearts to create a world that serves the highest good of all. It would be a world of abundance, peace, and joy, where resources are shared, and where every individual has the opportunity to thrive and fully express their potential. This is not a utopian fantasy, but a very real possibility that we are capable of co-creating when we are all aligned in our intention and our purpose. This vision isn't just an idea, but a feeling, a vibration, and it's by embodying this feeling now that you begin to move towards it. This final shift is then not just an internal shift, but an external one, for as you shift your internal landscape, the external world begins to reflect that shift back to you. And it is through this co-creation that we can create a new Earth together, moving beyond the limitations of the old matrix, into the infinite possibilities of the new paradigm. You are an essential part of this process, and your role is unique and vital, and your actions have an impact on the collective shift. By combining your inner work with external co-creation, you move from a place of passive observer to an active participant in the creation of a new world, and that is where your power lies. The shift begins within you, but it must then be expressed outwardly to create the new Earth that we all desire. Let's also delve deeper into the understanding of time, moving past the limitations of linear time and into the power of the present moment, where all transformation takes place, for the past and the future are not fixed, but fluid and accessible through the power of the present. Linear time is simply a construct, and when you understand that, you can begin to influence your past and your future by consciously choosing the present moment. If you have trauma in your past, you can heal it in the present by accessing the feeling and choosing a new emotion, and by choosing a new emotion, you begin to reshape the past, and it no longer has a hold over you. Similarly, you can create your desired future in the present by holding a clear intention and acting from a place of aligned belief, showing that all potential realities are available now, and you have the power to choose. The past, present, and future are interconnected like a circle, with each point of the circle accessible from every other point, and it's in this understanding of no time that you become the master of your experience. The power of the now, then becomes the most important aspect of conscious co-creation, for it is here, in the present moment, that you can actively transform your reality. The more you consciously bring your attention to the now, the more you will be able to access the creative potential, and by being present, you are creating the space for new possibilities to arise. The past is a memory, the future is a possibility, but the present is the only place where real power exists, and this power comes from the conscious choice to be present with the moment. This is not just about fleeting moments, but the continuous practice of grounding yourself in the now, no matter what you are doing. It can be when you're washing dishes or walking in nature, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes to access this state of presence in every moment of your life. And when this happens, you are no longer reacting from the past or anticipating the future, but actively creating your experience from a place of infinite potential. The final shift is not something that you wait for, it is a choice you make every moment, and with every conscious choice, you move closer to the reality you desire. This power is not limited to some grand event, but is present in every small choice, and the more conscious you are of these choices, the more you are able to shape your world. The key is to understand that the final shift isn't just a concept, but a movement into action, and the choice you make in this moment is an act of that action. You are always choosing the seed you plant, and the way you nurture it, and with every conscious choice, you are choosing your future. It is not about controlling what happens, but about choosing how you respond to what happens, and it is through this process that you become the master of your experience. This brings us back to the seed metaphor, and that it is in the present moment that you choose the seeds you plant, and it is only in the present that you can give it the sun and the water that it needs to grow. This requires you to consciously bring your attention to the now, and that it's in this single point of focus that you choose how you direct your power, and when you reclaim your attention, you reclaim the power over your choices. The tension arises from the understanding that the choice is always now, and this then shows you that you are in control of your destiny, and you are capable of creating the world you wish to experience in this very moment. The power is yours, and it always has been. Moving now beyond understanding and into embodiment, for it's not enough to simply intellectually grasp these concepts, for true transformation requires you to actively live the observer perspective in all aspects of your life. You can understand the theory, but the real power lies in living it, and this embodiment is an ongoing practice, and one that will deepen with each passing day. This is not just about thinking differently, but about feeling differently and making choices that are aligned with the higher version of yourself. It's about moving beyond the head and into the heart, allowing the wisdom of the body to guide your actions. You're no longer simply observing your life, you're living it from the perspective of the observer, and this allows you to move past reactivity into conscious creation. Living as a conscious creator then means making choices that are aligned with your highest potential, moving beyond the passive acceptance of your circumstances into the active shaping of your experience. This means choosing actions, relationships, and environments that support your growth and your vision for the world, and it requires you to take responsibility for everything that you create, no matter how small. This goes beyond simply making good decisions and moves into consciously creating a world that reflects your highest values and your deepest intentions. This is not about perfection, but about consciously choosing to move towards your highest potential, and that conscious choice is the very essence of being a conscious creator. The choices you make become the building blocks for the world that you are creating. The art of non-reaction then becomes a critical aspect of this embodiment, for by simply observing your emotions without judgment, you move beyond the reactive patterns and into the power of choice. Emotions are not the truth, but simply energy, and by not reacting to them, you create a space for higher consciousness that is guided by wisdom and compassion rather than impulse and fear. When an emotion arises, you can observe it without judging it, and that gives you the power to choose how you respond, rather than being at its mercy. This is not about ignoring or suppressing your emotions, but about understanding them and choosing to act from a place of clarity and love. You create the space by not reacting, and it's in this space that you will access your true power. These practices are the very essence of activating your observer, and it's by actively embodying these concepts that you move into the next level of conscious creation, and that this is not an intellectual process, but a process of being and embodying the observer. The tension comes from the understanding that this can't be thought through, but must be actively embodied through consistent practice, and that every moment is an opportunity to deepen your embodiment. This is the next step in your journey, moving past the mind and into the power of living this awareness. And the more consistent your practice, the more powerful you will become. The ultimate power then lies in the conscious choice to step into self-mastery, and that it is not an external event, but an internal decision, and that this decision can be made at any moment. The final shift isn't something to wait for, but something that you activate by choosing to align with your highest potential, and that this power is always available to you, and you choose how to use it. By consciously making this choice, you step into a new reality, and that is the true meaning of the final shift. It's the movement into the embodied power of conscious creation. This conscious choice then empowers you to take action, and to begin living in the new reality that you are consciously creating, moving beyond theory into practical application, and that each step you take is a step in that new direction. This is the start of a new journey, one that is grounded in this understanding, and that is lived with every choice you make, every breath you take, and every interaction you have with the world, all of which are an act of conscious co-creation. You are no longer waiting for something to happen, you are making it happen, and that is where the true power lies. This journey is not an end, but a new beginning, an ongoing exploration of self-discovery and conscious evolution, that there is always more to learn, more to discover, and more to create. This isn't the end of the road, but the start of a new path, and that each level of understanding opens the door to even greater possibilities. This is an endless journey, and that is the beauty of it. There is always more to discover, and always more to create. This exploration has set the stage for the next part of the journey, leaving you with a clear understanding that the power is now yours, and it's up to you to choose how to use it. You have all the tools you need, all the understanding that is required, and the next step is entirely up to you. This sets the stage for the final sections, and with a sense of excitement and anticipation, you can move forward, knowing that you have infinite power and infinite potential, and that the choice is always yours. So, we've explored how your beliefs and intentions are the seeds that shape your reality. But what if I told you there's a deeper layer to this process, an energetic foundation that underlies everything you perceive? What if everything, including your thoughts, your feelings, and even the chair you're sitting on, was made of energy vibrating at different frequencies? This isn't just a metaphysical concept, but a fundamental understanding that's beginning to be explored by modern science. Consider it this way. Just as a musical instrument produces different tones based on the frequency of its vibration, so too does everything in existence resonate with its unique energetic signature. Your personal reality is then directly connected to your individual energetic vibration, and the amazing thing is, you always have the power to choose that vibration, and this power changes everything. Think about how a feeling of joy and excitement feels in your body, the lightness, the expansion, and compare that to a feeling of fear or anger, the heaviness, the contraction. Those are direct indicators of the frequency you are resonating at, and the world responds accordingly. This adds another layer to the idea of reality as a construct, showing that it's not just made of beliefs and programs, but it's all built on a foundational level of energetic vibrations. And when you understand this, you begin to consciously shape your experience with greater intention and awareness. The incredible power that you have is the ability to consciously choose your vibrational state through intention and attention, and this moves past the simple concept of thinking positive into the active act of choosing your energetic alignment. When you realize that your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all expressions of energy, vibrating at specific frequencies, you begin to see the power you have and the control you possess over your own experience. It's not enough to just think positive thoughts. You must actively choose to align yourself with higher vibrational states. And when you do this, you literally begin to experience a different reality, for your entire energetic field begins to shift. When you actively choose to focus on gratitude and appreciation, for example, you're not just thinking a positive thought, you are raising your energetic frequency, and you begin to attract experiences that are a vibrational match to that feeling. This isn't a subtle shift either. You can feel the difference in your body instantly, and by choosing to feel good, you're choosing to create good, and you can access this choice in any moment, because it always begins with the observer. When you become the observer of your own vibrational state, you can then consciously choose it, and this awareness is the key to unlocking the power within. When you begin to understand the mechanics of this process, you begin to align your personal frequency with the outcomes you desire, and that is the magic of conscious co-creation. But it is more than just setting an intention. You must become a vibrational match for what you desire. Just like a radio must be tuned to a specific frequency to receive a signal, you too must tune your energetic frequency to the outcomes you wish to manifest. If you set a financial intention, for example, and then you are filled with fear and doubt, then you're sending out mixed signals, and you must move past the intention itself into the feeling of having already received. You must actively choose to vibrate at the frequency of abundance and receiving, rather than the frequency of lack and scarcity. And it's in this alignment that manifestation accelerates with ease and grace. Think of your intention as the seed you plant, but your vibrational alignment is the soil in which that seed grows. So the intention must be clear, but it's the energetic alignment that allows it to thrive. And this is an entirely different concept than simply setting intentions and hoping for the best. This adds a new layer to the manifestation process, moving beyond wishful thinking into actively choosing the vibration of your desired outcome, and that is the magic of it all. This moves us deeper into the understanding that choosing a higher vibrational state is like providing that seed with the perfect conditions to grow, using the metaphor that we've already established and that you already know, and that all of these concepts are building upon one another. Reclaiming your attention then becomes the most powerful tool, because your focus is the instrument through which you direct your vibrational state, and that this power is always available in every single moment. You always have the ability to direct your attention, and therefore you always have the ability to choose your frequency. And it's in this realization that you begin to move past the passive acceptance of your circumstances into active participation in conscious co-creation. This is the power that you have, and it is available in every moment, but it is only accessible through the observer. So when you activate the observer, you activate your infinite power, and you begin to live a different reality. So, now that you understand the energetic foundations of reality, let's move into the practical application of these concepts, and how you can actively shift your frequency and embody your power through the use of breath, movement, and sound, and that these tools move past theory into experience. Your breath is the first and most accessible tool, for it is a direct pathway to shifting your vibrational frequency and accessing the present moment, which is the only place you can truly create. When you become conscious of your breath, you begin to actively engage with your energy, and you have the ability to move energy through the body with simple yet powerful techniques that can be used at any time. Think of it as a reset button that is available to you at all times. For example, a simple technique such as box breathing, where you inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4, allows you to slow down your nervous system and access a state of calm. And it's in this state of calm that your energy begins to shift from a lower frequency into a higher frequency, and that it's not just about relaxation, but about consciously transmuting your energy and that this ability is always present. Then, when you begin to integrate conscious movement practices like yoga or dance, you begin to embody these higher vibrational states, moving past the mind and into the body. For this work is not just about thinking differently, but about feeling differently and allowing the wisdom of the body to guide you. Simply moving your body in a way that feels good immediately begins to activate the energy, moving it out of your head and into the physical, and this activation is a direct indicator of your shift, and that all of these are available for you at any time and in any place. Imagine yourself dancing freely to music that makes you feel joy, letting go of all inhibition, and allowing your body to express itself fully, and this will instantly activate your energy and move it from a state of stagnation into a state of flow. When you give your energy permission to move, you are beginning to shift your vibrational frequency, and you are connecting to the wisdom of your body, which is a powerful tool that is often overlooked. This simple act of moving your body is not just exercise, it's a form of energy activation, and it's also an expression of conscious creation when done with intention. And finally, the power of sound and vibration as tools for directly shifting your energetic field are another potent method that moves you into the experience of transformation through music, chanting, or specific frequencies, all of which have a direct impact on your energetic field. Sound, when used consciously, can have an immediate impact on your vibrational state and can be a simple and enjoyable way to access higher frequencies and to move out of patterns of limitation. For example, listening to specific types of music, like binaural beats or solfeggio frequencies, can help to entrain your brainwaves into a more coherent state, allowing you to move out of chaotic energy and into a state of harmony and flow. Similarly, chanting specific mantras or affirmations can create powerful shifts in your energetic field, and you begin to change the literal vibration of your body and the space you occupy. It's not just about listening to a song, it's about using the power of sound to literally shift the way you feel, and that this power is always available to you. These practices all begin with activating your observer, showing you that the more you embody these techniques, the easier it becomes to access and choose a higher vibrational state, and that your intention and attention is the key to directing this process, and that you are always in control of your experience. When you begin to live these practices in every moment, you are actively participating in conscious co-creation, and you move from being a passive observer to an active participant in your reality. This moves you from a theoretical understanding into an embodied practice, and the more you practice, the easier it becomes, and you can access these techniques at any moment, in any place, and that is your power. Now, let's move into the understanding of the zero-point field, for it is here that you can access the realm of infinite potential and move past the limitations of the old paradigm. What if I told you there is a place of pure potential that exists beyond the boundaries of time and space, and is always accessible by the observer? This zero-point field is a realm of infinite possibility, and it's the place from which all potential realities arise, and that it exists outside of the limitations of the system. Think of it as a blank canvas, where all possibilities are available, and that it's a place where your intention can take form without the limitations of the material world. This field is not some far-off place, but it's always present here and now, and you can access it simply by shifting your awareness, and that access point is always present within you. The idea of nonlinear time now expands further, showing you that the past, present, and future are all accessible within this field, and that everything is interconnected in ways that defy conventional understanding. And the observer is the gateway to this zero-point field, for it is through the observer that you can access this infinite potential, and that the more you embody the observer, the more you can access this field and create the realities you desire with greater speed and ease. The observer is not just a witness, but a key to unlocking the infinite potential of the universe, and when you are embodied in the observer, you have the power to consciously navigate this field and choose the realities you desire. This isn't about wishful thinking, but about connecting with a fundamental aspect of the universe that is always available to you, and it is through the observer that you consciously access this infinite potential. The observer is the doorway, and you are always capable of opening it and stepping into that power. When you access this field, you begin to manifest from the zero-point field by aligning your intention and focus with the potential within it, creating a pathway for the desired outcome to appear in the physical realm, and it moves past simply setting intentions and into actively shaping your reality from the place of pure potential. This isn't about forcing or manipulating your reality, but about aligning with a fundamental aspect of the universe, and it's through this alignment that manifestation happens with grace and ease. To connect with the zero-point field, you can use a simple visualization technique where you imagine yourself stepping into a space of pure light and infinite potential, and within this space, you hold your intention clearly and vividly, allowing yourself to feel the experience as if it's already happening. This feeling then acts as a blueprint that is brought into the physical reality, and it's a far more powerful method than just simply thinking about it. By focusing on your desired outcome within the field, you are creating a pathway for that reality to appear in your physical experience, and this is an entirely different way of understanding manifestation that is available to you. This is how you begin to actively co-create, using the tools you've now acquired and the understanding you've now embodied, and that by accessing the zero-point field, you can move beyond the limitations of the old paradigm and step into a realm of infinite possibility, and that it's all connected. Reclaiming your attention then becomes the single most powerful tool to access this field, and you always have the ability to consciously direct your attention and choose what you create in every moment. This shows you the infinite power you have to not just observe your experience, but to actively shape it, and that is your birthright, and it is always available to you. You have the keys to the kingdom now, and it's time to begin to use them. And finally, you must embody these principles in your daily life, and understand that this isn't just a theory, but a moment-to-moment practice of conscious choice, and that this power must be integrated with every breath you take, in every moment you live, and in every interaction you have, and with every decision you make. This isn't a grand shift that happens in the future, but a constant practice that is happening in the now, and the more you choose to embody these principles, the more powerful your experience will become. You must integrate these concepts into every part of your life, and it is then that you become the master of your reality, and that it starts with small conscious choices in each moment. Start by setting an intention each day, and use the tools we've explored, like breathwork, movement, and sound, and by integrating these practices into your daily routine, you'll create monumental shifts that will begin to create the new earth that you wish to experience. This shift is not waiting for you, it's waiting for you to choose it, and every moment is an opportunity to choose differently. The final shift is not some distant future event, but an ongoing choice that you are making in every moment, and it's up to you to choose the reality you wish to experience. This isn't about waiting for something to happen, but about consciously creating what you want to experience, and it starts with that single choice in this single moment. The more you choose to embody the observer, the higher your vibrational frequency will become, and the more you can actively create your new reality in every single moment. This journey isn't about perfection, but about conscious progress, and with each choice you are consciously creating your future, and the more you embody these concepts, the easier it will become to access this power. The final shift is not out there, but in here, and it's waiting for you to embody it. You are now being called to live as an awakened co-creator, taking full responsibility for your reality, and using your power to positively impact the collective, and that the time is now to fully step into this power and express the unlimited potential within you. You must now use all the understanding you've gained, all the tools you've embodied, and all the wisdom you've attained to create a new world that is aligned with harmony, collaboration, and compassion, and that the power is not only within you, but it is to be expressed outwardly into the collective consciousness. The final shift is a move towards collective awakening, and that you are a part of this process, and that it is up to each one of you to choose to live from this new perspective and to actively create a new earth together. You are not just creating a new life for yourself, but you are creating a better world for all, and that is the power of conscious co-creation. So, now that you understand the true meaning of this final shift, you now see that it is a constant process, and it is available in every single moment, and that you have the ability to choose your own reality. You are now fully awake from the limitations of the Matrix, and you are free to consciously choose your experience, using all of the tools and understanding that have been revealed, and it all comes down to your choice. The power has always been here. It's always been within you, and it's simply time to activate it now and step into the infinite potential that you hold in this single moment and in every moment that follows. So, after all we've explored, what is the core truth that emerges from this journey, and what is the single most important understanding that you should take with you? It's the unwavering realization that your power, the power to consciously shape your reality, has always resided within you, not as some external force, but as your very essence. This isn't a power that you have to strive to attain. It's a power that has simply been veiled by the programming, the distractions, and the limitations of the system, but it's always been available in every moment. It's like remembering an old friend, someone you've known your whole life but somehow forgot, and the moment you remember them, they're right there with you, fully present, as if they never left. The same is true with your power. It's not something you go to, it's something you remember, and that remembering changes everything, because it shows you that the power has always been there and always will be. And the key to activating this power, to accessing this remembrance, is the simple act of reclaiming your attention. When you consciously choose where you direct your focus, you're not just choosing what to think about, you're choosing the very reality you experience. Think of it like this. If you choose to focus on a single detail of the room you are in, like the texture of the wall or the specific color of an object, the world then responds by emphasizing that detail, as if it were the only thing that exists. This shows you the direct impact that your focus has on your experience of reality, and it all comes back to your ability to consciously choose where you place your attention, and that is the essence of your power. It connects to every concept we've discussed, from observing the system to deprogramming limiting beliefs, to choosing your vibrational state, and finally to accessing the zero-point field. It all begins and ends with your attention, and that is the single most powerful tool you possess. And when you understand the connection between your observer and the zero-point field, you recognize that you are not limited to this physical reality. The observer is your access point to that field, that realm of infinite potential where all realities exist simultaneously, and that it's not some far-off place you have to earn access to, but it's always available to you in every moment. You are literally the bridge between the physical world and the infinite potential of the quantum realm, and the observer is the key to accessing this power, simply by shifting your awareness. This allows you to move beyond the limitations of the system and to consciously co-create your desired reality with grace and ease. You are the architect of your experience, and the zero-point field is the source of your raw materials, and the observer is your access point, making this power yours in every moment. This understanding completely transforms the initial feeling of powerlessness into the profound realization that you have always been in control. It's not a battle against the system, but a remembering of the power you've always held, and that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a powerful creator, capable of consciously shaping your experience. This is not a fight, but a homecoming, a return to your true nature. And now you can see that the power was never taken from you. It was simply forgotten, and now it's time to reclaim it and to step into the role of conscious creator in every moment that you exist. This individual transformation that you are now experiencing also creates a ripple effect, impacting the collective consciousness in ways that are profound. and that each person who embodies this new understanding contributes to a larger shift in the overall human experience. You are not alone in this journey, and every moment you choose to live from a place of awareness, you are inspiring others to do the same, which creates a powerful wave of transformation that is already happening on this planet. Imagine a single pebble dropped into a pond, and the ripples it creates moving outward, expanding across the entire surface. In the same way, your actions have the potential to transform the world around you, showing that your individual shift is vital to the collective shift that is happening in this moment. This then leads us to a vision of a new world, based on collaboration, harmony, and shared intention, where everyone recognizes that they are co-creators of reality. And this is not just an idea, but a tangible path that is unfolding in this moment. This isn't a far-off dream, but an active movement towards a more conscious and empowered humanity, where we move past the old paradigm of division and separation, and into a world where everyone knows that their power is infinite, and that the future is only limited by the collective imagination, which is why your individual transformation is so crucial to creating a new Earth, based on conscious co-creation. But it requires you to choose this new path, for this is not going to happen without your conscious participation, your attention, and your intention. And this now brings us to a final perspective shift on the system, which was never designed to harm, but rather was a reflection of the collective consciousness itself, offering an opportunity for growth and evolution through contrast and challenge. Think of it as a mirror, reflecting our own collective beliefs and fears, providing us with the perfect conditions for learning and expansion. And it was always a stage for us to learn who we are and who we are not. And in that understanding, it becomes a vital component of our evolution. This now releases the tension and anger that we've explored, allowing us to move from a place of victimhood into a place of gratitude and understanding. The system was never the enemy. It was simply the tool that we collectively created to show us who we truly are, and we can now move past the judgment of it and simply focus on co-creating what we wish to experience. And it all comes down to the power of remembering that this journey was always about returning to the truth of your power, that you have always been capable of consciously creating your reality, and that the tools to do so are within you, waiting for you to use them. You didn't have to achieve anything, you didn't have to earn anything, you just had to remember, and in this remembering, everything shifts and aligns. You have always been the creator, you have always held the keys to the kingdom, you just simply forgot for a moment, and now you are fully remembering who you are and the power that you have always held within. So let's directly address the initial question that was presented in this video. What is this matrix, this reality that we exist in, and what is it truly? It's a mirror reflecting your individual and collective consciousness, nothing more and nothing less. It's a construct, an experience that can either be a limitation or a playground for infinite creation, depending on your choice. The matrix is not a prison, but a reflection, and your understanding of this power now makes you free, in any moment, to consciously choose the experience you desire. It is only a limitation if you choose it to be, and now you know that you have the power to choose a different path in this single moment. And with this understanding, the tension and the fear of the system begins to dissolve, because you now realize that you were always in control, and the power to create the reality you desire has always been yours. It was simply a story, a construct, and now you can move past the fear of it into a space of freedom and empowerment, knowing that you are the author of your own experience, and that no external force can limit your power unless you choose to give it your attention. You can now rewrite that story, simply by choosing a different perspective and focusing your attention on the reality you wish to experience. And we now complete the patterns that we've established, returning to the wake-up analogy and the power of activating your observer, showing you that you are now fully awake and that you are ready to take action, and that you now embody the understanding that we've explored together. The threads of awareness are all now connected, allowing you to see the full picture of the potential that you hold within, and you are now fully awake from the dream, and you can now consciously choose the reality you wish to experience. The observer has now been activated, and your infinite power is available for you to use at any moment. And finally, personal responsibility is not a burden, but the very source of your true power. For it is in taking responsibility that you reclaim your sovereignty, that you become the master of your experience, and it is now time to use this power consciously. You are no longer a passive bystander in your own life, but an active creator capable of shaping the world around you, not only for yourself, but for the entire collective, and that the power was always yours, and that responsibility is the highest form of freedom. This, of course, isn't the end, but the beginning of a lifelong journey of continuous exploration and self-discovery, where you become more aware of the infinite potential that you hold, and that this journey is to be enjoyed in every moment, and to move past the destination and into the joy of exploration. There is no final destination, no ultimate peak to achieve, but rather an endless path of growth, expansion, and the conscious expression of your own creative power. And it's the exploration of this potential that is the true reward, and this journey will take you into the deepest parts of yourself to reveal the infinite wisdom within. And this continuous growth happens beyond the boundaries of what you already know. So embrace the unknown with courage and curiosity, and understand that the greatest discoveries often lie beyond our comfort zones, and that you have the ability to explore any path you desire. Step into the mystery and allow your heart to guide you, for it is in the unknown that we find the greatest potential for transformation, and it's in this exploration that we begin to reveal the infinite potential that we hold. You are a limitless being, and your journey has only just begun. And it is now vital that you share this understanding with others, for the activation of the collective consciousness is an integral part of the shift that is happening, and you are a part of this larger movement, and it's your responsibility to share this message. Invite others to wake up, to reclaim their power, to consciously co-create, and by doing so, you are further amplifying the vibration of the new earth and actively contributing to the collective transformation. You are now a part of something far bigger than yourself, and by embodying this truth, you are inspiring others to remember their power, and that is the essence of the collective shift. And so, with this call to action, you are now urged to embody these concepts in your everyday lives, to continue to explore the infinite potential of your consciousness, and to live from this place of empowerment and awareness in every single moment, and to take responsibility for the world that you want to experience. Go now and choose with intention, with focus, with love, and with awareness, and live a life that is aligned with your highest potential, for that is what you were born to do. The power has always been yours, and now it's time to activate it.